At our 7th wedding anniversary dinner, I noticed something strange. My best friend, Darren Blackburn, who had always been single, had suddenly changed his profile picture to a couple's photo. "So you've been hiding a girlfriend from me?" I joked with a grin. "When are you bringing her around? I should at least meet her and make sure she's good enough for you." He just smiled and shook his head, brushing it off. "Not yet," he said. "It's not the right time." Then Deanna Cunningham, my wife's voice, called out from the kitchen, "Babe, come help me tie my apron." I hadn't even pushed my chair back yet when Darren was already on his feet, jogging over. He stepped behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist, and tied the apron strings for her. I froze where I stood, seeing the look on my face. He quickly tried to explain, "I'm just used to helping out at home. My mom's always bossing me around. It's basically muscle memory. Don't read into it." I didn't argue or make a scene. I kept my expression neutral and carried on with the dinner as if nothing had happened. Only after all the guests had left did I turn to Deanna, who was clearing the table, and say calmly, "Let's get a divorce." She slammed the dishes down with a loud crash and glared at me. "Seriously, over something like that? Just because he tied my apron once?" Chapter Corey Graham, in the 7 years we've been married, I've never once made you do any housework. I've given you everything, my whole heart, my whole world has revolved around you, and now, just because of one careless move from your best friend, Darren Blackburn, you're making a scene about divorce? Do you even have a conscience? Deanna Cunningham's eyes were red as she questioned me, as if I'd committed some unforgivable crime. I didn't respond to her directly. Instead, I shifted my gaze to the dining table, to the lemon halibut, the one with only a few scraps left at the bottom. For 7 years, every time we ate, you knew this was my favorite dish you made. You always placed it closest to me, but this time, you said it in front of Darren, who happens to like it too. Deanna choked on her words for a second, then snapped, "What's there to even talk about? No one was helping when I was serving the dishes. I was overwhelmed and didn't think that much about it." I shook my head, my voice hoarse. "It's not just that dish. When everyone sat down, you pulled out a chair for Darren first. When his glass was empty, you opened a new drink for him, and it was orange soda, the flavor he likes but I don't." Deanna, people don't act out of character. When you love someone, even subconsciously, you want to give them the best of everything. When you didn't have time to think, your instinct was to treat another man well. That's the real reason I want a divorce. Her expression darkened. She looked at me like I was insane. "Corey, are you sick? A few unconscious actions, and you spin them into all this nonsense. If you're so good at this, why don't you go become a detective? And what do you mean by another man? That's Darren. He's been your best friend since childhood. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have taken extra care of him at all. How does that turn into me having something going on with him? Do you have any sense at all?" She stormed into the study, grabbed a photo album, and threw it down in front of me, page after page. There were photos of Darren and me from childhood to now. In every single one of them, we were smiling like brothers. The most catching ones were from our wedding when Darren stood beside me as my best man. On the stage, he had tears in his eyes as he watched Deanna and me exchange rings, visibly moved. In the next photo, Darren and I were locked in a tight embrace on stage. I looked at those photos, and suddenly let out a delayed, mocking laugh. When we exchanged rings, the direction of his toes was pointed toward you. He wasn't moved by my marriage. He was crying for you. When he hugged me, he was smiling at someone outside the frame. From the angle of the photo, that was you. So 7 years ago, he already had those feelings for you. No wonder he stayed single all this time. What about you? When did it start for you? Deanna took a step back, her face filled with disappointment and anger. "Corey, I thought you were just overthinking things for a moment. I didn't expect you to spiral this far, twisting even the past into something it's not. I must have spoiled you too much."